the supreme leader of Iran, is dead after U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran, along with 40 top leaders. This is a New York Post story, Rob. I think you may have a video on this on page 17. Iran's tyrannical supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, was killed Saturday in an unprecedented joint military attack by the U.S. and Israel called Operation Epic Fury, which President Trump said would give Iranians their greatest chance to take back their country. Khamenei, one of the most evil people in history, is dead, said Trump on Truth Social, 15 hours after the start of the onslaught. This is not only justice for the people of Iran, but for all great Americans and those people from many countries throughout the world that have been killed or mutilated by Khamenei and his gang of bloodthirsty thugs. Hours later, Iranian state media confirmed that Khamenei has been martyred. The supreme leader of the Islamic Revolution in Iran has been martyred. Tasnim News shared on X, we hereby inform the devoted, martyr-loving people of Iran that His Eminence Ayatollah Khamenei, the supreme leader of Islamic Revolution, was martyred in a joint attack by the criminal America and the Zionist regime on the morning of Monday, the 9th of Esfand. The tyrant's daughter, grandchild, daughter-in-law, and son-in-law were also killed in the joint military attack, according to Iranian state media, though it's unclear where they died. And people are wondering what's going to happen here. Rob, if you can go to the New York Times cover on how they announced Khamenei's getting killed. Very different angle New York Times took. Obviously, they got a lot of heat for this. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, hardline cleric who made Iran a regional power, dies at 86. That's New York Times for you.
That's a real post.
That's a real post, okay? Rob, can you verify that being a real post? I think it is a real post.
Tears.
Say that again.
Like, is it like, who was the Soleimani when they died? You know what they were calling him? A freedom fighter.
Yeah, they were calling him a freedom fighter. So, Adam, your thoughts on this?
Well, the world is a safer place now. Thank God we have a President Trump who is the leader of the free world. So, to me, this is not an Israel thing. This is not a Middle East thing. This is a civilized world versus a radical Shiite theology that is unfortunately not going anywhere. Do you see the people still all over the world crying that the Ayatollah Khamenei has died? Have you seen any of these videos? What people in Pakistan,
Absolutely.
people in Iraq,
Yes.
people just absolutely distraught that this villainous terrorist supporter who's basically funded terrorism all over the world is dead. It means this: no matter what you do in life, no matter who you are, no matter what you got going on, you're always going to have haters. And to me, this comes down to winners versus losers. Trump, despite all the hate, despite all the rhetoric, despite all the naysayers, this guy's just an absolute winner. And the alliance between Trump, Netanyahu, the American military, which is incredible, and the IDF and the Mossad is unbreakable, it seems. And they just look at the scoreboard. To all the haters out there, look at the scoreboard. I'll say this: the Ayatollah, all he did was talk. We're going to bring the enemies to its knees. Death to America, death to Israel. Look at you now. Look at all your friends. Look at everyone affiliated with you. Nasrallah, Lebanon, Hezbollah, done. Yahya Sinwar, Gaza, done. Ismail Haniyeh, all they do is talk. And what they're great at, the Ayatollah, is subjugating their own people, whereas you have people like Netanyahu that's being praised in Iran. Imagine this. Have you seen the videos of people in Iran praising Trump? Thank you. The people of Iran praising Benjamin Netanyahu, praising him. Thank you. Is this video right here? Calling him Bibi June. Bibi June means like dear Bibi. Validate this for me if this is what they're saying, PBD, if you can.
I can't hear the audio, guys.
Okay.
Where is this, Rob?
This is apparently in Iran.
Tehran.
Shouting from their rooftops, dear Bibi, thank you, Bibi. Bibi June. Imagine that. That's the equivalent of Osama bin Laden attacking the United States and the United States cheering for a bin Laden. The world is upside down, and Trump and Bibi Netanyahu, that alliance, they've tuned out the noise, they focus on the signal, and they've eliminated the greatest terrorist regime that the world has seen in the last 50 years. Thank goodness.
You know, it's interesting while you were talking about that. I mean, I had not seen that. What I did see is the amount of love they're giving to Trump. Iranians around the world. By the way, a lot of these guys that are giving credit to Trump, remember, they don't like him. Some of the 40% of them didn't vote for him. Many Iranians are not voting for Trump. They're sometimes more Democratic than Republican. But now they're sitting there saying this is the guy that had the audacity to do it. I want to show you two clips. Here's Kamala Harris when asked about what happens if Iran attacks. And look how firm and strong Kamala responds with. And I look at the way Trump responds with. And then I'm going to show you a clip from 10, 11 years ago of what Trump said to Rush Limbaugh. Go ahead, Rob.
To Iran.
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly.
Very threatening.
One word. Pretty straightforward.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care. They've got to be stopped.
Big difference.
What's the
The fact that he
I
said,
see what happened. I see what happened right there. Do me a favor. Go to the one with him in the interview with Rush Limbaugh. Right there. Watch this. Go ahead, Rob.
And Iran knows that, and they've been put on notice. If you fuck around with us, if you do something bad to us, we are going
This
to
is
do
a long time ago.
things to you that have never been done before.
Right.
And Iran knows that, and they've been put.
So say what you want. At least they're being consistent. And then Mike Waltz was at a United Nations, I believe, hearing with Iranians Sunday after Khamenei getting killed. And look what one of the Iranian leaders said. Be respectful. And look how he responds. Go ahead, Rob.
I have one word only. I advise to the representative of the United States to be polite. It will be better for yourself and the country you representative. Thank you.
The representative of the United States has asked for the floor to make a further statement.
Frankly, I'm not going to dignify this with another response, especially as this representative sits here in this body representing a regime that has killed tens of thousands of its own people and imprisoned many more simply for wanting freedom from your tyranny. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, be kind. Be polite. It's better for you and your people. Yeah. Be kind and be polite to your own people, with the people that you're killing. Be kind and be polite to the people that you guys have hurt. Be kind and be polite to all the people in Iran that you took out, young kids. Be kind and be polite to your own folks of what they're talking about, what they're doing. Tom, your thoughts on the specific to Khamenei and some of these things that we just discussed.
So the world's a better place without him, but there's a leadership vacuum right now in Iran, and I want to see it filled with people that will be more reasonable, people that will return Iran to what it was. It was a tourist spot for the West. It was rich. It was Persian. It was not Arabic. It was Persian, and it had a rich history, and it was working with the West. Not everything was perfect, but I want to see these people get back to where they were 47 years ago. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see war come out of this long term. The regime change, what we have to do, I'm a little worried about this weapons of mass destruction chapter that we went through that was not correct. I'll forever be a critic of Dick Cheney on that. But I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad leadership is gone. I'm glad the people are celebrating in the street. And I want to see them celebrating at the voting box and to see at the ballot box and to see the Iran become what it was and to see the hearts of these people that are cheering be served. That's what I want to see. But I'm glad that the maniacs are gone. I'm glad that many of the underlings. So it doesn't look like it was just, we're going to kill the leader and let it go. It looks like that there is a lot of effort that was made in to get the entire regime. I'm glad to see it.
Got it. By the way, you were playing a clip of the celebration, Rob, all around the world. The Iranians dancing. This is Australia, Canada, Switzerland, Britain, France, Germany. There's even a clip of a reporter working for CBS. His boss calls him and says, hey, stop playing that clip and stop recording with the audience behind you, Iranians that are saying Trump, 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 stop. And he says, I'm not going to stop. And he defies his boss at CBS. Go ahead, Rob. Play this clip.
Watch, the Trump chants are coming. Wait, Reza Pahlavi.
See that?
Trump is coming. Ready?
You see him
Thank
just
you,
shrug?
Trump. Listen, Tommy. Thank you, Trump.
Did you hear him just shrug? He goes, I'm going.
And thank you, Bibi.
Can you imagine? CBS is telling them, don't do it. How do you feel about it,
How
Vinny?
much you want to bet the person that's texting has orange hair and has a bull ring in their nose that's saying don't do that? Like, I want to say something, Pat. I think, you know, for the people out there, all the people in their basements, on these podcasts that just have this one-sided brainwashed mentality that everything is Israel, Trump is owned by Bibi, he's Bibi's. Like, they clearly just listen to a handful of podcasters and they have no idea what the hell's going on. They don't know nothing about geopolitics, and they have absolutely no idea how gangster President Trump is, okay? In the span of 2 months, Tom, we choked off China's discounted oil flow from Venezuela and now Iran, okay? China needs that oil to keep coming in to be the global influence and have its power, okay? Russia also lost cheap weapons and their drones that they've been getting to fight freaking Ukraine that was coming from Iran, okay? If you take your Israel time out for a second. Everybody knows I'm critical about some of the stuff that Bibi does and Israel as a government does. Put that to the side. I can be objective on both sides. Take a step back and look at the board strategically, okay? Pressure from all these freaking angles. That's perspective. What he is doing is so freaking impressive, but a lot of people are so stuck on just one thing, they can't get out of this freaking cloud, okay? And by the way, Islam has collapsed in Iran. 70% of Iranians, which is about 65 million people, have left Islam because of what they've done. When these people came in, when the Ayatollah came in, they had to change their flag, Pat. It had that freaking awesome line, which I saw them going back to. Now it used to have that Islam writing and all that stuff. 2/3 of the mosques, which is 50.
The colors are the same, but the symbol in the middle is
gone.
now traditional.
50,000 to 75% of the nation mosques have closed due to low attendance. People are done. People are done. And I'm so freaking happy for the people. I can care less about everything's Bibi Israel. The people. I have yet to see one negative video. Not one, Adam. No, I'm being dead serious. I haven't seen one video where they went, why the hell would Trump do that? Why did he get up with Israel? And so do me a favor, shut up. If you're not from there, if you don't have family like we do, and you're not from that place, please do me a favor. Go back to playing video games in your basement and shut the hell up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Period.
Well said, Vincent.
I try.
Yeah, but the challenge with this right now, Vinny, you're making a very important point, because it's what does that ideology produce, right? Does it make the place a better place? Very simple.
Yes.
So why are people leaving? Why are they leaving? Why are they going to a different place?
And think about it. The women are forced to cover their heads. The women don't want that. And if, God forbid, a little piece of your hair sticks out, they beat you to death and nothing happens, okay? And all the gay people that are pro this, pro that, they throw gay people off of buildings. They will kill. You're going to jail and you will disappear, okay? It's not, their money has gone to crap. Nothing's good, and the people for 47 years have been stuck. We liberated them. Oh, is Israel going to are they happy? Of course they are. Of course they are. Anybody that says death to America, let me explain something to you. Everybody out there, I have an analogy, Tom. If your neighbor across the street was killing people in his own family, threatening you, shooting at your house, throwing stuff over there, what would you do? Would you just sit back and go, you know what? Keep letting him get tougher. Let him get some bombs, and hopefully one day he'll get strong enough to kill me. I'm sorry. That talk, you could talk the talk, bro, but Donald Trump is walking the walk, and I feel 1,000 times safer with these guys not having control.
You make a great point, but you got to remember, a lot of Americans are still sore, I am, from the deception of the weapons of mass destruction. It was a lot of American lives, a ton of American money, and what did it get? We turned a bunch of 5-foot rocks in Iraq into 2-foot rocks. That's what happened. And eventually we found a dictator hiding in a hole. His own people took him, and then they hung him. And people are still bristling from that. I understand the raw emotions of certain Americans. However, my raw emotions are, I'm with the people. I love that we have liberated this. I love the people there, because I ask a question. Question, America, for all of you that are upset about this, is say Trump said no wars and now we got into wars. I get it. I'm on that page. However, what happens when there's a nuclear Iran? You think we're walking on eggshells with the nuclear in North Korea? What happens if there's a nuclear Iran?
Yeah.
we will not be able to stay home if they launched a missile at NATO because we have a treaty that says that we would protect it. So if you think it's bad now, oh, we should stay out of their business, we should do this. Look at what the people say and then ask yourself a question. What will a fully nuclear with ballistic missiles Iran under these leaders, not the Persian people that want peace, these violent leaders under the regime, what will they do with that? And what happens? And then what happens? We're in global conflict. That's the reality. This prevents that.
And Tom, there's a big, huge, really, really fast. There's a huge difference, though, between 9/11, Iraq, Dick Cheney, BS weapons of mass destruction, which is the reason that I left, and just and people are like, well, you're a Republican. No, I'm not. That's absolutely wrong, and it's disgusting what they did. This is a different situation. The Iranian people on their own said enough is enough. We're done. It took 47 years. They hit the streets, and they were getting murdered. They were getting slaughtered, and we took the right opportunity. Yes. Are we going to benefit? Yes. Are the people happy? That's all that matters to me. The people are happy. End of story. I saw a video of a lady, Pat, cry. As if somebody in her family died. She was losing her mind. The husband's like, what's wrong? She's like, they killed Khamenei. They finally killed him. And people are ecstatic around the world. It's a way better place without this freaking guy and that regime in place.
I want to show you this with Rita Panahi from Sky News Australia. Reaction when it was announced that Khamenei is killed. And just watch this. This is an Iranian as well, who was, her family's from Iran. I think she's also from Iran, if I'm not mistaken.
She's
native
incredible.
Persian. She's incredible. Go ahead and play this clip. Go for it.
I want to conclude this editorial with this message to the late Supreme Leader. پدر سگ خاک به سرت بسوز تو جهنم. Rowan.
Couldn't have put it better myself, Rita, James.
Let me tell you what she said. Pedar sag, son of a...
You know what?
Yeah. And then go back. Go back. It says, burn in hell. I don't know what the second one she said. Go play. Press play.
پدر سگ خاک به سرت بسوز تو جهنم.
خاک به سرت, like dirt on your head.
And you're
like buried. And then may you burn in hell. Yeah. So listen, I mean, this is somebody in Sky News that is she's a face of Sky News in many cases. So Iranians are celebrating. Adam, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, well, she's absolutely right, and I just want to give a shout out. So this may or may not be the Independence Day for the people of Iran or the great people of Persia. I mean, we've lived through, you're 47 years old now, 46 years old, 47 years old. Tom's doing his thing. This might be the most monumental moment since the fall of the Berlin Wall. Like, this cannot be understated how important this is. I also understand as an American, we do not want endless wars. Trump, I think, per the rules of war in America, has up to 60 days to go to Congress. I think this is going to be done in a matter of weeks, certainly not months. Nobody wants to see endless wars. But if you've been following what Trump has been doing year after year, episode after episode, this guy gets in and gets out, does not get in these forward entanglements. So I understand that people do not want to get into endless wars. Nobody wants that. But has Trump ever done that at all? So I don't see that happening at all. The last thing I'll say was this. In war and in politics, there's winners and losers. Now, Trump and Bibi and our allies have proven over time and time again, they are the winners. Who are the losers? So the Ayatollah, the loser. The terror proxies, all losers. The progressive left that have been marching day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, losers. You've effectuated nothing. Nothing's changed. You haven't stopped America. You haven't stopped Trump. You haven't stopped Israel, the IDF, from winning. You haven't stopped the IDF. You're losers. Yes, I'm talking to you, AOC, Gretel Thunberg, the Young Turks, Anna Kasparian, Mehdi Hassan, Mark Ruffalo in Hollywood, all losers. Every single thing. Check out the scoreboard, guys. Also on the woke Reich that they talk about, the Tucker camp, the Candace Owens camp, the Dave Smith, losers. Every single thing you've said has been wrong. Trump's been right about everything. Isn't that a famous saying? Well, it turns out he was. So it's funny to me to just sit back and watch America win while the losers cry and try to make up excuses as to why America shouldn't be doing this. The world is so much of a safer place with the Ayatollah gone, and we should all be thankful.
Let me tell you, I understand the libertarian argument. I get that. I understand the libertarian argument of no wars, stay out of it, let me live my life, all this stuff. I understand that. The problem with that is that only works if you start your country that way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like if I start a new country, the problem with the libertarian, I'm naturally more of a libertarian. I've always been since I was a kid. Like, leave me alone. Let me go make my own money. If I do something, great, there's a punishment. I don't want to get into it. If I don't start the fight, let's not have a fight. Let's kind of do business together and let's move on. But unfortunately, the leaders that came previous to the current president have already sparked. Like, once sin is out there and you all of a sudden say, guys, let's try to be peaceful. It's done. Someone's son was killed. Someone's father was killed. Unfortunately, this continues. And now they're doing it to their own people, and they can't wait to do it to you, do it to our family, and God forbid that happens to us. So I actually fully understand the libertarian argument. There's a very noble side to it. The part I don't like is when it gets down to talking about how, Trump is this and Trump is that and Trump is on and Trump is... And by the way, guess what? In the area of debate and conversation, anybody can say anything. And long term, you know how the market works? Here's how the market works. I've learned this, having been in business and competition for 25 years. Here's what I've learned. You don't know where people are going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. You don't know. Everybody is, jockeying for position. Let me just say this, and I'm going to get a reaction, and boom, and let me just say this. And that is a business model, the rage-baiting model, right? And then every once in a while, you're like, wait, what did Fetterman say? A Democrat?
Yep.
Fetterman? Yeah. Didn't we call him crazy? Yes. And now he seems like the logical player? Yes. Now we're linking the word reasonable to Fetterman? Yes. Watch this clip here from Fetterman on CNN. Go ahead, Rob.
Have people ever read the War Powers Act? What's required of the president is to provide 48 hours of notification, and then he or she have 60 days, up to 90 days to withdraw those troops, before Congress approves that. Neither of those have been activated. He did provide that to the Gang of Eight, and there are no American troops on the ground now. This was an incredibly precise and successful strikes, and they eliminated most of the leadership. So here we are. So yes, I do support that. Why can't the entire world celebrate that he's dead for what he's done?
By the way, you know what is crazy? Mark Kelly, who is super critical of Trump, Mark Kelly said, this is a war that shouldn't have happened, and da-da-da-da-da. And then they asked Mark Kelly, are you glad Khamenei is killed? Yes. So can you imagine? Mark Kelly, who is against any of that, but when it comes down to Khamenei, you're all of a sudden, yes, this is a good move that's taking place. By the way, for the people that talk about Iran, and should they do it, should they not do it, why are you doing this, what did Iran ever do to America? If you go through the history and you look at the stuff, you can easily pull it up to see what Iran's done, directly, indirectly, proxy, not proxy. They try to take out your president. That's what they try to do, okay? They literally try to take out your president. 79 to 81, they attacked the Iranian-backed embassy, seizure of the embassy. My aunt was there in the embassy. You ever seen the movie Argo? My aunt, my dad's sister, who died last year, was there. My father was trying to get her out. She eventually married a Marine and came to the States and stayed in America her entire life. Who did that? His camp, Khamenei's camp. How many hostages did they have until Reagan came in? For how many days? What was it, 60-something hostages? For how many days? 444 days? What happened the day Reagan got elected and he became president? He got up and then immediately Khomeini did what? No. Don't mess with Reagan. He'll kill us. But don't worry about these liberals like Jimmy Carter, Joe Biden, Obama. They won't do anything. They're fools. They'll give us money and they'll sympathize with us. And then who's the next Reagan that comes up that's even tougher and crazier and more unpredictable than him? A guy that's in house right now. What are we supposed to do? Sit on the sidelines? And then Hezbollah, 1983, the Hezbollah-linked bombing in Beirut that killed 241 U.S. Marines, service members, and barracks, and 17 Americans at the embassy. 1996, Iran, Hezbollah, Khobar Towers, bombing in Saudi Arabia, killing 19 U.S. airmen. 2003 to 2019, Iranian-backed militias in Iraq provided training, EFPs and IEDs responsible for at least 603 U.S. troops died and many more injured, accounting for more than 17% of total U.S. fatalities in Iraq. 2000 USS Cole attack, embassy bombings and plot assassination attempts, the IRGC-backed proxy attacks on U.S. forces in response to U.S. support for Israel. 2023, Iran-backed militias have engaged in over 216 attacks in U.S. bases, forces in Iraq, Syria, Jordan, resulting in 180 wounded and 3 killed. I can go on and on and on and tell you how vicious these people are. By the way, how do you look at somebody and say if they're capable of killing tens of thousands of their own people? You've seen the number 32,000. You've seen the number 100,000 during protesting. What do you think they do to their enemies? Like, think about it. You ever seen these movies where in the movie you guys are like, yeah, take out the son or take out this? If they kill their own son, what do you think they're capable of doing? Who are you to them? Nothing. And by the way, this whole thing with Khamenei that took place, you know, I was asked the question, should they take him out or not, I think a few months ago, and I said, I don't know. He's 86. He's about to die anyways, okay? So why go after him? You know what the statement was? No. Let's go take out the top. And let's go show that we can find anybody and anywhere. I don't care where you want to hide. Think about it this way. How long do you think Khamenei had a chance to hide? For how long do you think he's known that they're going to attack him? Well, let me ask you one more time. How long do you think they had to hide Khamenei? Can we say months? Can we say at least weeks? Mm-hmm. And even, so imagine we play hide and go seek. You have weeks to go hide. I got to come find you. How hard will it be for me to come find you? And they still found you. Do you understand what I'm saying? They still found you and they killed you. And then anybody else that wanted to replace you, they killed you as well. Listen, as we're going through this, the one thing that we can't recognize enough for what they do is the armed forces, the folks in the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, every one of these guys on what they're doing. Without them, you and I wouldn't have the freedom that we have to be safe, to go out there and do what we're doing. Sometimes you forget about the military, but if you're somebody that served in the military and you believe the future looks bright, or you have a friend or a family that does, and you want to recognize them, Rob, if you can go up, VT merch, we have an armed force collection. If you can go down a little bit, there's 2 hats that every time we get them, we can't keep them on. That's one of them, but keep going down, keep going down, keep going down, keep going down. That one to the right, you see that one zoom in? This one, whenever it comes in, it goes just as quickly.
I love that.
It's an incredible, by the way, if you want to get, the future looks bright, green, camo. And then also, Rob, go back if you can. There's another one as well on the bottom left. Keep going, keep going, keep going right there. Those two are 2 of the most popular hats that we have for folks in the military that wear with Future Looks Bright on the right side. So put the link below, Rob. Go to vtmerch.com, place an order, especially at a time like this. Represent our military for the patriotic job that they're doing out there. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.